Hello world, we're moving on from Bad Company to John Waite. And we can probably sum up John Waite in one word. True international depression.
That's bad English.
Oh yeah, you're right. We used to shoot pool, you know, and that's actually where that comes from. Did you know that?
Yes, I saw that. He hit the ball, and one of his friends said, that's bad English because it's the spin of the cue ball, I think, when you hit it with the cue stick.
Now, you think a lot of people don't know that the spin of the cue ball is called English?
Probably not. I remember we used to
if he
say
said that was bad English, he's like, I didn't say anything. No, see what you did there?
Yeah, so tie it in with last week. We had Bad Company.
Right.
Bad English. One word. Bad.
We're not saying that these groups are bad, though.
Yes.
Although they are farther down the road.
You said there's another connection also. Now, last week, Bad Company had
an
album called
Fame and Fortune. And if you know it, the words didn't change. We always wish for money. We always wish for fame. That's part of the word song change.
Yeah.
So that's Fame and Fortune right there. I thought you had a third. Did you ever?
Oh, the third is there's three bands.
Yeah, no.
Sort of.
Now, the last two times we did this, two bands had a connection of Paul.
Right.
Paul Carrick and Paul Rogers.
Okay.
Where they came from separate bands like this. It's like all the people we ranked, one guy tied them together. And this is three bands.
This band tied by John.
That's right.
So Paul and John, we're back to the Beatles.
Correct. Is there another George out there we haven't done?
George Thorogood.
Yeah, and find another Ringo. It ain't happening. Okay, so I like another tie to another person. Okay, so Holly Knight. Do you know who she is?
She's a backup singer for the Babies.
No.
Oh, I thought
she was not.
Okay.
She was. The backup singers are called the Babettes.
The Babettes, I know, but I thought.
See, on tour you had the Babies and the Babettes. That's
I saw their names. I thought.
Yes.
No, Holly Goodnight from James Bond.
Maybe that's where they got her name. No, Holly Knight. She was actually in a band called Spider. Okay.
Okay.
She wrote Change.
Oh, okay.
Which I just mentioned. She also wrote.
There's Holy Night. Oh, Holy Night.
Yes, no.
It's Christmas.
She also wrote "Better Be Good to Me,"
okay.
who is by
Tina Turner.
Tina Turner.
She was on a number one. Was she number one? And she got knocked off
by Missing You.
Missing
So I think it's What's Love Got to Do with It. And got knocked off by.
And she said she remade it.
She remade it. I didn't see that.
Yeah, did we see that in our video on Tina Turner? But. Hers only went to I think it was 84.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have ranked that.
Yeah.
So. But that's kind of funny, the connections there. So, can you imagine all these bands who get knocked off by somebody else? You know what? I'm going to remake that song.
Yeah.
That bumped me off. So that's kind of cool. All right, so let's talk about Missing You. So
it went to number one.
It went to number one. Now, in Bad English, they had a number one. When I See You Smile. So technically, John Waite has two number ones, not as a solo artist.
And the two Baby songs
13.
Only went to 13, right?
And to me, they're not the best one. The one that we
Back on My Feet Again, which was the
33 or
that
something.
was in the 80s.
No, 79.
79?
1979.
Yes. I thought it was on the album for 81.
No, it's from the 79. And by the way, here's a connection to us. Their last concert as the Babies, Akron, Ohio.
Yes, I did see that.
So we grew up in Akron, Ohio. Don't live there anymore, but yeah. So not that we were 10 years old. We wouldn't have known. Who were they? We were babies. Not really. Okay. So where was I going with that?
Nowhere.
I know. Okay, let's go to Missing You. We're talking about rankings. Okay, not Missing You yet. Oh, kind of Missing You. The guy that I told you about. And now you know this too. Anybody who sets out to make a one-hit wonder list, almost always wrong.
Yeah.
Can people not understand what a one-hit wonder is?
I think you can't make a one-hit wonder list for the 80s unless you grew up in the 80s, so you knew what was on the radio.
Yeah, well, not only that, you just have to do research.
All right.
You can't go by what you think is on memory.
Based on
Which
the
is on-
radio today.
You can't go by what's on the radio today. That way you get that Scott Kramer guy saying Duran Duran's a one-hit wonder. But you got this other guy, Rick Beato, who is pretty famous.
Yeah.
He makes our 80s one-hit wonder list, and Missing You from John Waite is on that list. And granted, his songs didn't hit that high, but he had other hits. Missing You's not even his best hit. Okay? But then
It's the highest that he ranked.
yeah, but then you take in the fact that he was in the other two bands. Okay, if Don Henley, who's in the Eagles, then goes off on a solo career
and only had one hit.
and only had one hit, is he a one-hit wonder? No way! Well, forget Don Henley. Dennis DeYoung
Yeah.
had Desert Moon, and that's it.
Yes.
Is he a one-hit wonder? No, he has way too many hits being on sticks.
Yes.
So, because of this, I'm going to set up next week's video after John Waite. We're going to go through our favorite. I'm going to say it's our favorite because we're not breaking down what the best one-hit wonders are out there. It's going to be what we like. Because some of the, just throw a few out there. Aha won't make the list. 1, they have another top 40 hit. 2, they have a James Bond theme that lots of people heard, so they are not a one-hit wonder. Regardless of what do people think about Aha. The other one would be Men Without Hats. The Safety Dance was not their only hit.
Okay.
So there are a lot of bands like that. Now the other hit may not have ranked high.
You didn't include GTR because they're like
it's
a
a
super
super
group based
group.
on people who
Two
are
people
different
came
bands
from
that-
other bands. And then you got country singers who came over to pop for one hit. They're not a one-hit wonder. They're just not on the pop chart because they're country stars. So for things like that, we break it down to just who our favorites are of true one-hit wonders. All right, that's next week.
All right, so let's start with John Waite. He's the reason we're doing all three bands. Do you know what his birthday was?
No.
He was born
today?
He was born on the 4th of July.
Was he? Okay.
Yes. No, it wasn't today. That
Coincidence. Does that mean anything?
No, but he was born on the 4th of July, so.
Now, would you agree with me when I said last week he's the red-headed Rod Stewart?
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that.
Yeah, this is in his actions.
If anybody watched our video last week with Bad Company all the way to the end when I said, wait! That was my joke.
So I also threw out change regarding his death. He's not dead yet, right?
Yeah, no, he's not dead.
Okay, see that one video? It's, is it Missing You? I don't think it's Missing You. Well, when he was with the babies. See how red his hair is?
Yeah.
That's like David Bowie red. Back when he was, before he was in the 80s. All right. So, yeah, Babies and the Babettes, so that's funny.
Okay, the babies. A girlfriend named him. One of their girlfriends. I don't know if it's John Waite's girlfriend.
It was meant to be a joke. And they were only going to have it there
Yeah,
for
2
a few
weeks. But they said it just got curiosity, and people were like, we got to see them.
They wanted to do it to make critics mad. That's bad English.
It was spelled the baby with a Y, because when you say babies, you change
put
it
an
to
apostrophe.
IE. No, you change it to IE.
Or you put an apostrophe S.
Well, if that's a possession.
Yes. So,
But, yeah.
Babies is not correct, but that's what they chose. So, Isn't It Time? They had a song before Isn't It Time, but that's their first one. A couple of theirs, they all sound alike. All three hits sound alike.
Isn't It Time, Back on My Feet Again, and what was the other one?
Every time I
think.
But they're
all similar, and they start slow, and then they and they get like that for the middle part.
Yeah, and only the last one though doesn't.
Isn't it time? I'm back on my feet again.
It'd be like Aerosmith songs, Crazy Amazing. What's the other one?
Crying.
Yeah, you combine those like Adam Sandler did.
Yeah.
So the first one had the 3 black singers, the
Yeah.
Babettes. Second one, they had the 2 white girls, and one was prominent. It's like she sang "Every Time I Think of You." He didn't.
Right.
And then the last one, there's no women background singers.
Well, yes, the times are hard for these times are hard for lovers.
They did
That video they had 3 backup ladies singing the these times are hard for lovers. These times are hard for lovers, and then he would say his button.
Right. Now, if you're living today, these times are hard for everybody. We're hoping that changes come November. Put that out there. Yeah. Let me go to Missing You. You mentioned that video, but Missing You is his known song. So I wanted to break down a couple parts of that video. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it.
What the heck was that phone made out of? He slammed it against the phone thing, and it just shattered.
Yeah.
So they made that out of rock candy, I would assume, to do that. What was the other thing? Where she comes out the door and it hits him in the face. I like that part. Also, have you ever not hung up the phone, just walked away, let it dangle?
Yeah.
I've seen
That's
that.
when you want to. Back in the day, you did that when you didn't want people to call you.
Oh, yeah, you took the phone off.
Took the phone off.
Yeah, but he was at a phone booth. And he just dropped it and walked away. Next person comes along. Hello?
And somebody's still there. Didn't they do that in The Matrix? I believe the phone was dangling.
Well, see,
it?
that's different.
Yeah.
If somebody's after you, you gotta move.
Well, they think what The Matrix is, to get out of The Matrix, you had to go to the phone and then it's like,
oh yeah, that's
so
true.
You're holding the phone
While a truck's coming at the phone.
There's no way to get out of The Matrix and then hang up.
Yeah, that's true. You have to be holding a phone. And did that the one scene where the truck was coming right at the phone?
Yeah.
And you hope that you're like taken before it actually gets it. Okay.
Yeah, we are way from that picture. Alright, done with videos.
Movies!
For the timing. He had a lot of soundtracks.
Yes, so what you see behind us are the major albums that are worth talking about. Once they got past Bad English #2, there wasn't anything else.
Change was on Vision Quest, which we've done several artists who've been on that soundtrack.
And that was an reissue. He originally had it on his very first album.
Yeah.
And then he re-released it for Vision Quest. Only the Young from Journey, Crazy for You from Madonna, and Change from John Waite.
But he also, it was on Anchorman 2, which I just got from the...
Oh, you watched?
That's where I got the CD to download on my computer.
I've seen the first Anchorman, never seen the second one.
Me neither.
I hear it's.
I didn't care for the first one, so that's why I watched the second.
No, Will Ferrell has a certain type of humor you have to like.
There are there's parts that I like of Anchorman 2 that I like. I like when Paul Rudd says 75% of the time it works 100% of the time, and Will Ferrell's like, that makes no sense.
There, you know what? That does remind me. Anchorman, the first one, does have a lot of meme words.
Yeah, and like after the fight in the alley,
yes,
and then they're back, he's like, that escalated quickly. So there are several, several memes.
Yes. Anyway, so Vision Quest is one. One of the songs which actually made our top 10, and I'm surprised, came from the movie About Last Night with Demi Moore.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah, and that was actually remade.
With black people.
Yes, everything's got to be a remake because Hollywood also doesn't know how to make
original stuff.
There came a point, I think it was 2011,
when it was all sequels or remakes.
Top 10 movies. There was only one
that was
non-single.
Yep.
And that was Thor, which was actually part of the Marvel Universe, so was it even original? I don't know. But from there, it all went downhill. But there was a third movie, and I can't remember what it was. I should have wrote that movie down. But I know there was a third movie. He never started anything, though. And I like the connections. You know, later this year, for my birthday gift, Brendan, or my son, bought us tickets. He's going with me to Journey, Def Leppard, John Waite's playing, and so I'd be kind of curious to see if the Journey members and John Waite do some bad.
Yeah, because I did see that there was a guy from Journey.
Or Baby songs.
There's a guy from Journey who left the Babies. Was it the Babies? And then he went to he joined Journey just before they got.
Jonathan Cain joined the Babies midway through. Then he joined Journey, which they were touring together. Babies and Journey. So that may have been 1980. And so
The journey wasn't big yet.
but all these bands are connected somehow, and yet they almost got the exact same people, but they changed their name. Bad English could have been Babies 2.0.
Yeah, it could have been. Yeah.
So.
And they only had 2 albums.
Bad English, yes.
Yeah, Bad English and Backlash.
And there were one hit from that one. And yeah, definitely. Now, out of all these albums, John Waite, Babies, Bad English, what are you getting?
Greatest hits. Oh yeah, so Bad English has a greatest hits album. Can you believe it?
With
just 2 albums in one hit that went.
So does Damn Yankees. And they only had 2 albums, so when you're a super group, just put 2 albums out, followed by a greatest hits.
What am I buying though? Ugh.
I would buy Bad English, the first one.
Okay.
That's what I would get. Because they did have like 5 hits on the radio.
Yeah, I don't know what I would buy. I do not have. I don't know.
Anyways, hey, let's find out what's on our top 10,
yeah.
And maybe that'll help you. All right, let's get to the top 10. Starting with honorable mentions. I have 2. You have 1, and guess where they all come from? The group Bad English.
Okay.
The 2 that I want, but they didn't make was Price of Love and Possession. P songs. And yours was Straight to Your Heart, not Straight from Your Heart, which was Brian Adams. Just different direction. It's from or it's to.
Yeah, it's the difference between a blood vessel, a vein, and a vein and an
artery.
Artery, yes.
Okay. Oh, one goes
to the heart.
One
one takes blood from.
All right, science class. All right, so that's also a Bad English song. That's their hit from the second album, Backlash. Didn't rank very high, I don't think. Okay, so if I had my way, all 5 songs from the Bad English album were in the top 10. I think I did that. Okay. Number 10, coming from About Last Night. I just mentioned this. But neither one of us actually had it in the top 10. But because our honorable mentions, the other person really didn't.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I had it at 11, you had it at 12. But it comes in at number 10. It's If Anybody Had a Heart. And I thought
they would die.
And then everybody had a heart.
Everybody had a heart. Nobody had a heart. Everybody would be flopping over dead.
Is there somebody actually out there who doesn't have a heart and is living? Anyways. Pretty decent song.
The Wizard of Oz. The Tin Man
needed a heart.
Needed a heart, yes.
Oh, yeah. We got some Tin Man. AI is coming on. They won't have hearts. Yes.
Yeah, I never knew this, but we had a pastor way back.
This will have nothing to do with the song. Right?
No, but Wizard of Oz, he said, was his favorite movie, and he pointed out, and I never saw this myself, but he pointed out like the Tin Man, he wanted a brain. Yeah, and she's like, well, how do I get you down from there? He's like, well, I think if you move that nail over there, I'll fall down. So
he's the one
thing in the stuff. He had a brain. Tin Man, like, I need a heart, and he's crying. So that's an emotion. You have a heart. And the Cowardly Lion, he wanted courage, but he stormed the castle before he got.
Is the wizard pointing out that they had everything they thought they didn't have?
Well, he gave. No, he gave.
It's been a while since I watched The Wizard of Oz. Actually, I've seen The Wiz more recently than Wizard of Oz.
I watched half of that and I had to stop.
All right, number 9, coming from I forget what. Broken Heart. Obviously, these albums are really memorable.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get that one. Isn't It Time? And I have this at 13. You have it at 5. This is my least favorite, even though all 3 sound similar. I do like the beginning. The piano is probably the most memorable beginnings of the songs. So I'll give that to this song. But overall, it's way down at number 9 for us. Anything stand out to you in that song?
No. Not in particular.
You had it at 5!
You can use that phrase for anything. Yeah, but isn't it time? any subject, whatever you say.
What did he say in the song it was time for? Do you remember?
I don't remember. I'd have to look up the lyrics.
Now-
I didn't go through the lyrics.
I will say, you put the baby songs at 3, 4, and 5, which
because
you could differentiate
because
between
they,
them either.
yeah, but I kind of like one above the other stuff, but pretty much yes.
Yeah, they're all similar. Okay.
Yes.
Coming in at number 8, I already said it's not his best song, even though it went up to number 1. From No Breaks, Missing You.
So okay, so he's talking about nobody has a heart, nobody has brakes.
Yes. By the way, I put this at 9, you put it at 8. If you have no brakes, yeah, you're pretty much dead. Just like if you have no heart. So he sings about death a lot.
Yeah. You ever see the movie? I forget. Go on, I'm gonna try. It's called, the one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, where he's a bicycle.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I don't want to say Premium Rush. Right. He took his brakes off his bike on purpose so that he would always make it. I don't know if they had a time limit to deliver something.
Oh, okay.
So he took his brakes off so that he wouldn't stop.
Yes. Okay, so Missing You, way down at number 8. Come on now. It's not that good of a song. How it made number 1? It was only at number 1 for a
It's
week.
for all the women who listen to the radio. They made it number 1.
But at least they finally put a song of his way up there
Yeah.
because his songs didn't rank high. Which is another reason why there, is Rush a one-hit wonder?
Because they only had the
They
one
only
song.
had one top 40, so throw that out there again. Okay, yeah, but I do like, it says Missing You. I mean, he's trying to convince them, I'm not missing you at all, but truly he does miss the person. Alright, next one. Number 7, coming from Head First. The cover of the album, you see the woman fell. So she must have fell on her head.
Yeah.
Head first. By the way, going back to Missing You, do you know the very first line of that song?
You're gonna make me try to think of a. Go ahead, tell me what it is.
It's called Every Time I Think of You, which is this title.
Oh.
Every Time I Think of You is our number 7, and John Waite used that for Missing You's first line in the song. Kind of cool that he did that. So anyways, you had this one at 3, I had it at 10. I don't know, was it... Again, what stood out of that song? You have it way at 3. What stood out? Why is that their best? Although the lady takes over for the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. That, you're not giving John Waite the chorus. Come on. Number 6. Coming from Bad English. Both of us have this at 6. So it's 6, 6. Luckily there's not a third 6 because it's heaven is a 4-letter word. H
Yeah.
A V E N. It's 6 letters.
Well, now if 2 plus 2 is 4, no, it's 6.
Well, we did both rank it.
If you think it's 4, you're racist.
But yeah, I don't remember hearing that on the radio, but it was a ranked song. So I'm going to guess the word they're talking about is love.
I know.
You're wrong if you're thinking of another 4-letter word.
I don't think what they're trying to say is not that it's literally a 4-letter word, but when you say it, it's like a swear word.
Right.
So
Oh,
I
okay.
assume.
Sure. Okay, coming in at number 5, also from Bad English. I have this at 3, you have it at 7. It's their number 1 hit, When I See You Smile. By the way, that that reminds me, he has an album called Mask of Smiles. Not just one smile, you can have a mask and it smiles.
They're all smiling.
How many smiles can you put on one mask?
There are some creepy
smile
masks that smile. It's usually when it's like you ever see.
Well, you know what? There's that movie that came out last year called Smile. and they show their face suddenly becoming
But
longer.
that's not even what I'm talking about.
Okay.
There was a show where I don't know if you ever saw American Horror Story. There's one of them where it has this clown character who's missing the bottom of his jaw for some reason. So he wears a mask and it has a smile on it, I believe. And the smile is extra big. So yeah, it just looks to make it look weirder.
Now, obviously, when he says, "When I see you smile, it's a good thing." You ever see somebody smile and you're like,
yeah.
Seen some people with some awful looking teeth.
Well, yeah.
too.
I always tell people they have summer teeth. Some are there, some aren't.
Alright.
Yeah, so that makes me think, why they call it a toothbrush? No, that's why they call it a toothbrush, is for those people who are,
They only have one tooth.
they only have one tooth, because if you say teeth brush, then you're not being inclusive.
Alright. So, number 4, our third song in a row coming from that Bad English CD. My number 1. Your number 9. To me, this is his, out of all the groups he was in, his hardest rocking song. Forget Me Not. And it's got a slow part, and then gets really fast. I'll tell you what. I think I like this song better than all the damn Yankees songs, because these are the two groups I like to compare. That is a good song. Even better than Don't Tread on Me, which is a pretty awesome song. So, Forget Me Not. You never tell anybody that.
Poison says, I won't forget you.
Yeah, who says, hey, forget me not?
Yeah. Well, it was a phrase.
That's bad English.
It was a phrase, and you see it on the
Hallmark cards.
the Valentine's candy.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Those things that
Yes.
you're supposed to give one. Well, here, if a piece of candy, it's got a word on it.
Do you ever get the one and you have to say the voice? Hug me. So there's that candy. Midnight Madness. Okay, number 3 coming from Union Jacks, which is the flag for the UK. Back on My Feet Again. I put this as my favorite song from them, which is why it's the highest. Both of us put it at 4. So your least favorite song of theirs, my favorite song, but when you re-rank them, it's our twin.
Yeah, and this was when, weren't they kind of reformed with new members
Yes.
in this band?
Yes.
So which makes me think that's why they wrote this, because they had hits, and they kind of went down, they got a single again,
Oh,
they're back on their feet again.
Yeah, and
so.
you can tell in that video, Jonathan Cain did not pick a good outfit. Completely red, although it is... I mean, and I think the top was made out of the exact same material as the bottom. That's just weird. It's like a jumpsuit. Alright, so there's some bad fashions out there. Alright, number 2. Your number 1 song, my number 5, coming from 2 CDs. Ignition, when they first put it out, and it didn't go very high. And then the reissue from Vision Quest, put it up higher, still didn't rank high enough. Change. And, they're probably their most watched video on MTV for them, because it is a storyline.
Yeah.
And he's trying to talk a girl down from jumping, but she was literally like that mountain climber. She was like 3 feet off the ground. Obviously, when you shoot in a video, you have to do stuff like that. Right? You can't have her literally way up there on the 10th floor. So, yes. So, Change, our number 2. And that brings us to our number 1, coming from Rover's Return. Who's Rover?
It depends. If you're talking, well, there's 3. There could be 3 Rovers.
Okay.
1, it's either a dog, because we always call dog Rover. 2, you're playing that game.
Rover, Red Rover, that's, or whatever.
Come over,
They return, yes.
Or it's the Mars expedition.
Okay, so yeah. Hey, it came back from the planet. Let's see if any creatures live on it. Okay, anyways, you already know we both like something else, but this was both of our number 2s, which puts it at our twin rank number 1, and that's These Times Are Hard for Lovers. And you watch the video, hopefully you don't have
epilepsy. You have a seizure.
With all that checkerboard.
And there was a couple times where they did they did a repeat of the video, like where he's walking here, and then they repeat it, same
Right.
thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
we're doing that.
That's probably, and it reminds me of Roger Daltrey's video where he's in that cornucopia thing.
Oh yeah.
That's also kind of hard on the eyes. But again, this is, well, as a solo artist, this is his best rockin' song. And it's got a good bass beat. Do, 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 right? So,
That's what I like guitar. That's what I listen to.
and it's got, who's that guy playing the guitar? I didn't
I
look
don't
him
know.
up, whether
I
he
don't
was
know.
famous or not, but a pretty good guitar solo in the middle. So there's your list for John Waite. Do you agree? Do you think John Waite is a one-hit wonder? Because there are idiots out there that do.
And do you like Missing You better than Change?
If you think Missing You's is number one, you're a woman. So, but that's our list, and we're not women, so you probably disagree with our list.
Yeah.
Tell us what your top John Waite song is, included in all three groups, because you have to do that at least. And next week, again, like I said,
Next week we'll do the
one-hit wonder list. And after that,
After that, we will have, like today's, where there you have the Babies, John Waite, and Bad English. There's a band
it's more
that
of a...
has 3 parts to their name.
It does. But it has a guy who went out on a solo career.
Yeah.
The band never recruit. Well, they tried to.
They tried to do their own thing.
They
right?
tried to do their own thing, but failed. And that'll be after our one-hit wonder week. So, see you next week. Bye.
Bye.